Ed and I were introduced 10 years ago. He was looking for a salesperson to help change the trajectory of his business, Alpha Graphics. And I originally, when we sat down, we got along very well. I told him that we would do it for maybe a year, and 10 years went by. He's a very stabilizing, brilliant business person. He brings a very stabilizing factor to employees, to an organization, to friends, and also to customers. Personally, we get along quite well. We have a lot of the same philosophies on things, but we're also, we have mutual interests in business, and we have mutual interests in road cycling. And so together it put a good personal and business approach together, and I think we've done a wonderful job in building a successful business, but mostly building a very good relationship personally.
Ed is an advocate for business. The challenge is a lot of people may never know all that he's accomplished, but I think the business environment is better because of his work. And the one that keeps coming back to me is the sales tax one. I mean, that's a major thing and a major thorn in the side for some businesses, but I think it's better now because of that.
When I think about Ed Rothschild and I think about his advocacy for the Jeffco business community, it's not just Arvada, because it's all about sales tax. Ed has been working for years with our now Commissioner Tracy Kraft-Tharp on reforms and ways to collect sales tax more efficiently and effectively for small businesses. And that's actually all over Colorado thing. That's not just an Arvada thing. You know, you wouldn't know it, but you know, Ed has been really influential and really impactful in making sure that sales tax collection is easy for small businesses. So every time you collect sales tax, you should think of Ed Rothschild. Cha-ching!
And when I was a state legislator, that was one of the issues I was working on. So Ed and I worked in partnership together. Ed is a listener, and he is somebody that pulls people together to work together and tries to find common ground. He's somebody who's delightful to work with, even in contentious or even in boring areas.
Bike-friendly Arvada encourages people in Arvada to get out and ride their bikes. We have rides. We had 20-some rides this year. Ed likes to cycle, and he shares that enthusiasm that he has with the community by leading the bike rides for us, working the bike corral, sharing his expertise of routes in the community that are interesting for people to go on.
You know Ed's gonna hate this. Like, this whole thing he's gonna totally hate, because, you know, one of the things about Ed's work that is his brand is he's the guy behind the brand. Alpha Graphics' motto is get noticed, get business. So Ed's job is to get other people noticed, not him. And so one of the things during the pandemic, when Alpha Graphics again stepped up in our community, is making a whole bunch of branding and a whole bunch of marketing that you didn't know Alpha Graphics created it.
He's probably one of the most generous and charitable people I've ever met. Outside of being community-minded, of course, with Arvada, he's been involved with the Chamber, he's been involved with Bike Arvada, he's involved with Foothills Animal Shelter, he's the MS 150. Certainly, he's not only charitable to organizations, but also to friends, to employees, to businesses in general. During the pandemic, it was his decision to provide signage and things to businesses, whether they couldn't afford it, they were getting ready to close. He's just very charitable.
Ed is pretty humble about most things. He probably doesn't like to be recognized for these types of events. When I went up to his store to tell him, I made a big commotion when I went in there, and all the employees came out to see what was going on, and I could tell Ed was awed, but he was also embarrassed. It was kind of funny. But yeah, I think it means a lot to him to be recognized for that honor.